Sunrise, morning glow, packing up, let's go. Got my stand and my greens ready for.
Welcome to Ven for Life, where every episode celebrates the courage and spirit of micro businesses thriving in our local markets. This series is a journey into the heart of community commerce, where taking a leap of faith isn't just a choice, it's a way of life. Ven for Life captures the essence of small-scale entrepreneurship.
Welcome back to Ven for Life. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to share some important news. Our wonderful narrator, LaToya Pepper, has experienced a tragic loss in her family and is taking some time off to be with her loved ones. Our hearts go out to her during this most incredibly difficult time. In the meantime, I'll be stepping in as the narrator, in addition to sharing my journey as a vendor. While this is a change, the spirit of our series remains the same, highlighting the stories, challenges, and successes of those connected to the Greensboro Farmers Curb Market. In our first episode, we connected with some amazing vendors, Shelley, Luke, and me. We explored what drives us make, sell, and succeed. And over the next 3 episodes, we'll continue that journey by focusing on the power of goal setting. Setting clear goals is a key step to turning dreams into a reality, both personally and professionally. Today, we delve into the world of natural products. We'll hear some thoughts about essential oils and herbs, and the steps I'm taking to achieve my own goals. Let's get started.
Hi, this is Leslie. I'm so glad to be back with you. Today we're going to be talking about goals. Goals are super important. They're the things that can really turn dreams into reality. And when they're properly created and measured, they can be the difference between succeeding and not succeeding. In the last episode, I shared why natural products are so important to me and how they've helped me inform my own health and well-being. And now I'd like to deepen that experience with you and share even more about natural products and why they're important. And of course, goal setting, which is all about what this episode is going to contain. So let's, before we begin, talk a little bit about basil. Basil is a well-known culinary herb, which you probably use in your own kitchen. It's got a very vibrant, clean taste, and you know basil in a pesto or when it's topped on pizza. However, you may not know that its essential oil is a powerhouse of help when it comes to tired and sore muscles. So, diluted in the proper carrier oil, of course, and applied topically, it can really help you after a very strenuous day of gardening. So basil is also a medicinal herb and a culinary herb, and herbs have been used for thousands of years. And let's take a little deeper look at that, shall we? So herbs and later essential oils have been used for medicinal purposes for thousands of years. Herbs have been found in archaeological sites dating back to 60,000 years ago, and it seems they were used for medicinal purposes even then. The first distillation of essential oils was in the Indus Valley some 5,000 years ago, and people believe that it was probably distilled for its perfume and then later distilled for its medicinal benefits. Almost all cultures have used herbs and essential oils for healing from the ancient to now. They've been making a comeback in the Western world too. No longer on the fringe, they're in the mainstream and being recognized for their therapeutic value. And even science is catching up with what ancient cultures have all known all along. Recent studies have shown that essential oils like basil can be powerful complements to modern medicine. But here's the thing. Doctors receive very little training on their use, even though they have the potential to help reduce or eliminate the use of pharmaceuticals. The public and medical community are recognizing essential oils and herbs as valuable complementary therapies. For example, fly essential oil is being studied as a natural alternative to diclofenac, which is a common pain reliever found in products like Voltaren. Research shows that fly can be just as effective, offering a natural option but without the risk. My biggest challenge is helping people become aware of the products that I make. All my products are based on research with studies that support the use of that particular essential oil or herb for the condition for which the blend is being created. And yet in this very busy online environment where there are literally tens of thousands of websites promoting natural products, it's very difficult to get my products seen or heard above all of that. So the focus of my journey with Ven for Life is about working on those elements that I hope will create awareness of my products and, of course, build my business. One of the goals I'm working on professionally is developing greater poise in front of a video camera. It takes me a tremendous number of takes to get what you see, and in fact, the first time I filmed this episode, I had to start all over again. This is actually my second attempt at creating a video that I think will be usable. So being able to speak naturally, confidently is definitely a big goal. And I'm hoping that Ven for Life is going to challenge me to improve, since I am committed to doing several more episodes for this project. I would also like to overcome some of the fears I have. For example, I worry, am I interesting enough? Do I speak in a way that people will want to hear my voice? And these may sound like crazy things, but for me they're not, and they may not be for you either. I remember the first time that I was working at Shoney's like 100 years ago when I was young. And back then, I don't know if they still do this, but you had to call your orders in over a microphone that then was heard in the kitchen. And the first few times I heard my voice on a microphone, I couldn't believe how bad it sounded. And I was almost embarrassed to call in the order, but of course it was my job and I got used to it. So I guess practice does kind of make perfect. Practice does make perfect. And at the very least, it helps us become, I guess, a bit more desensitized. To grow my business online, I'm looking to create better content, understand SEO, create engagement, and have a better sense of how to format and develop channels in which the content I create can be seen. And of course, all of this is time consuming. And some of the biggest challenges I've had have to do with technical expertise, funding, and time. And I would say probably time and technical expertise are probably the biggest barriers that I've experienced. And then the other piece of that would be funding. And interestingly enough, I have a really hard time promoting myself. I'm a great advocate for others, but when it comes to me, I find promoting myself to be very challenging. And here's another interesting thing. I'm just as reserved online as I am in person. So that is also a challenge for me, is coming out of my shell and feeling confident and comfortable in talking to people and sharing my knowledge and developing conversations and really being part of a community that is growing and vibrant. So those are my goals, and having goals is a great first step. And yet, if they're not created well, they may not be effective. This is why I'm using the SMART goal technique, and I want to share that with you today. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And so what does all that mean? It means the goal should be well-defined, that you know what your desired outcome is, and crucially, how you're going to measure it. Goals are great, but it's the measure that's the true guide. So let me give you an example. You're wanting to increase sales, for example, with your business. So you would measure your current level of sales and then measure it as you deploy your different strategies in achieving that goal. And it may turn out that the strategies you're using aren't working. And this is what a measurable goal tells you, whether or not you're on the right track. The goal should be realistic. It's a great idea to say, I want to triple my business in 6 months, but could I really do that in 6 months? It would be wonderful, but it's unrealistic given the amount of time and money I can dedicate to it. My main goals here are to increase online traffic, increase sales conversions, and grow engagement. And some of the activities I'll be doing to achieve those goals are to grow my engagement by better understanding SEO and how to incorporate it effectively. And that is so big. SEO seems like it's simple, but it's really very complex and very frustrating too, because you're looking for search terms that customers are using And unfortunately, really big companies tend to have the edge on those very nice search terms, especially if that you have to pay for them. And I should have said this at the outset, my intent is to grow all of this organically, because it costs an awful lot of money to advertise, regardless of whether you're on Facebook or Google or what. And without creating a really effective ad campaign as a small business, you could be just throwing your money out the window. So besides SEO, I'll be increasing online traffic by researching strategies to build more meaningful interactions with my audience, and increase sales by diving into research to develop a solid action plan to turn more visitors into customers. To track my progress, I'll use metrics like website traffic, which I'll baseline and review monthly using Google Analytics. And if you have a website, you need to have Google Analytics. It's a ton of information and it doesn't cost you anything. And there's lots of information on the website, on the web, to help you put that tag on your website. I'm going to also be monitoring online sales through WooCommerce reporting and tracking comments and reviews that people make. And I'll let you know in future episodes how it's going. And here's the thing, if you've got some ideas, please share them. I'd love to hear from you. So as we wrap up, I'd like to encourage you to set your own goals and make sure they're measurable. And it's very helpful that you understand what your outcomes are. Goal setting is a super powerful tool, and it can be a great compass to know you're on the right track or that you're not on the right track, and then you can adjust your strategies or your tactics depending upon what you're doing. In the next episode, we're going to delve into milestones and challenges. And it's going to be interesting to see how many times it's going to take me to record that video. In the meantime, I hope that you will like, share, and follow us on social media, that you'll tell your friends and family about this, and that you'll give us great feedback. We would love to build a community around this to help support one another as we journey to make our businesses grow in whatever focus we may have. So in the meantime, I hope that you stay well and you stay whole, and it's been a pleasure being with you today.
Sunrise, morning glow, packing up, let's go. Got my stand and my greens, ready for what dreams mean. People hustle and smile, all the while in style. Rows of goods so neat, making life a little